Amprius Technologies just delivered their earnings call. Number one trading stock today. What is this hype about? Are they better than Tesla? Let's find out. Hey up everyone, welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. I'm Vaz. Do you know what time it is? Time to start talking eVTOLs. Amprius Technologies and their breakthrough technology. Is this really a hype? Are they better than Tesla? And how this company fits in the wider and broader markets? Let's find out. Today, topic of the day, as I already mentioned, number one, trending stock, not only on Google, but on trading platforms as well. Why? Because on the opening bell, very sharp spike of 18%. We are not selling off. We are not selling off. The stock retracted. Now we are back up about 16% from the opening bell. Why all this hype? Because Amprius delivered their earnings last night. After the closing bell, they announced they released their numbers and they announced their progress. This morning, we covered their earnings call on our channel. And even if you are not an investor and you are interested in technologies, Tesla, batteries, you name it, you must admit that the year-over-year growth, 3x, is really impressive. So this is why Amprius is so much up. But it's not only about the numbers, it's mainly about their product. So how about we break it down? This is their battery cell. Their battery cell is unique. They have very unique concept and very unique technology. They do not manufacture and develop your standard lithium-ion cells. They develop lithium cells with silicon-anode, not a graphene anode, but silicon one. The silicon anode has slightly bigger structure and it can preserve and conserve more energy. So Amprius actually promise the record, market-beating and market-breaking battery power density. If you look at here, that is your standard lithium-ion battery in the region of about 200 watt-hours per kilogram. Here is Amprius, up to 50% upside. And that's not it. We have slightly higher upside, but we will get to that very shortly. Why Amprius is unique as well? Because their batteries, they have three different product ranges, and they can program or they can tune their battery to the need of the customers. So we can focus on energy density, we can focus on power, and we can focus on cycle life as well. And this dark triangle here, that is your standard graphene anode battery. So just to compare what is on the market. That's not it. There's one more great advantage, and we'll get to that very shortly. Recharge. If you look at your standard graphene anode battery, the recharge time can be up to 30 minutes, whilst Amprius's battery is promising from 0 to 80% in mere 6 minutes. How about that? Well, before we move on, let me just put this into perspective and bring up the wider context. So in the world of electric vehicles and batteries, your standard lithium-ion battery is in the range of 150 to 200 watt-hours. Market-leading Tesla with their own battery, 250 to 300 watt-hours per kilogram. That is for their long-range electric vehicles. Amprius sits about 50% higher above Tesla. Look at that. But it's just not, let's not think as we are trying to replace combustion engines. Obviously, the liquid fuel or the combustion engine fuel is much more denser. And looking at jet fuel or gas, they have about similar energy density. We are at the region of 12,000 watt-hours per kilogram. And just a wider angle or wider point of view, hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, 33 100,000. Obviously, you cannot, for various reasons, you cannot utilize these two. These are not green, and this is not green. This is loud. This is very maintenance demanding. Combustion engines are very high maintenance, very expensive to run as well compared to the electric motors or engines. And speaking of hydrogen, the infrastructure is very demanding and is not fully developed. So currently, it looks like Amprius is the winner of the green tech. One key phrase. Aircraft don't run out of runway. They run out of energy. That is why Amprius is here. Why are we mentioning aircraft? Well, prime example, the flying taxis, eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. And next week, hopefully, if there are no more delays, you will be able to witness and find out which American cities are going to deploy these taxis to fly passengers. Hopefully, as early as the end of 2026. How about that? Stay where you are. We will cover this later. Amprius is not only about flying taxis. They have also some defense and military partners. Think of military drones. Think of loitering reconnaissance aircraft. Some of their key customers or partners. We have Fleur. This is a very tiny reconnaissance close combat drone. It is very expensive, but it's about this big. It literally is about 6-7 inches of the size. It's very quiet, and it's used for the close quarter combat reconnaissance. It's called Hornet. We have Nordic Wing. We have BAE Systems. We have AeroVironment. We also have Airbus. Mostly with their reconnaissance or loitering unmanned aerial system drones. So we have quite good setup in here. It's not it. Amprius, their recent progress. We covered their earnings in the morning, but there was not enough time to deep dive into the company. So that's why we are bringing you this new perspective and explaining what this company actually do. So Amprius was selected for Amazon Devices Climate Tech Accelerator back in July the 14th last year. Since Amprius ships SICO sells to United States drone customers from US pilot line. Back in July. September, Nordic Wing select Amprius to increase flight endurance. Further down the line in mid-September, Amprius secured 35 million, a repeat order from leading unmanned aerial system manufacturer. Back in October, more partnership coming in. And in November, Amprius strengthens global partnership with Korea Battery Alliance. So Amprius have been through a lot. And this was mentioned on the earnings call. The United States Department of War drone dominance. The War Department is unleashing American drone dominance by bolstering the US drone manufacturing base, harnessing the ingenuity of warfighters, arming combat units with low-cost attack drones, and training senior officers to overcome bureaucratic risk aversion culture in drone procurement and trading. So this is in massive favor of Amprius. And on the earnings call, there was a question by one of the analysts. They asked, are you directly involved in one of the 25 or minimum of 25 companies which are involved in the drone dominance program? And the answer was very smart. The answer was, we cannot say more until the winners are announced, until those successful applicants are announced. And we might be able to disclose more. So me personally, I take it as a yes. But let's not jump into any conclusion. That's unmanned aerial systems. Now we are talking about manned aerial systems. We are talking electric vertical and takeoff, electric vertical takeoff and landing platforms, the flying taxis. As already mentioned, coming to the United States to fly first passengers as early as the end of this year. Amprius have not disclosed which market-leading company are they involved with, but based on publicly available cues and indices, based on publicly available numbers, you can make your own takeaway. There's at least one more that is involved in that as well. Why is this important? Because these aircraft are designed for short trips. We are talking 5 to 20 minutes, short 10-15 mile trip. One of the lights went out and I can't figure out which one. Okay, we are running, that's fine. I do apologize for that blip. I think you could see that flash a few seconds ago. So we are talking about short trips between 5 and 20 miles. Passengers offboarding, passengers on board. Your passengers don't want to wait for your aircraft to recharge in 30-40 minutes. You want to wait for your passengers with fully charged aircraft. And this is when Amprius come into play. From 0 to 80% in mere 6 minutes. That's enough time to offboard inbound passengers, take their luggage if there's any, do necessary maintenance or checks, and onboard new lot for the outbound flight. This is where Amprius can take massive benefit from. Because, as already mentioned multiple times, we can see flying taxis take the skies over above New York as early as this year, and Los Angeles as well. So we are very close to first paying customers for Amprius as well, from this sector. And we covered this. We covered this last year. You can see, you can't see it here. I may zoom in. 7th of August down here. Can't zoom in anymore. 7th of August. Back in August, we brought you Amprius first time to our channel. And then we've been always keeping our eye on it. And this morning, boom, great earnings delivery. So again, back in August, we've already brought Amprius to you. Not only through social media and our video content, but also through our unique newsletter. Here is a little snippet of the article of the deep dive on Amprius. Just to cover the whole market, where Amprius see themselves landing, if you pardon the pun. We are covering unmanned aerial systems, which are drones, so mainly military and defense. Also, satellites and space. Light electric vehicles, think of e-bikes and scooters, robotics, and eVTOLs, the flying taxis. And this is a little scope of what the potential is, how the markets are upscaling, and you have key players here. Amprius already involved with Nokia, drones, AeroVironment, Airbus, and we scroll down, further down here, you can see on the eVTOL side, you can see Joby and Archer. And again, we don't know which one they are involved with, but it won't be long until we find out. When we find out, this could be good catalyst for the stock as well. So we also have Tesla, Boston Dynamics. This is just the market preview. This is not their partnership. Just to put this just to put this rightfully. Speaking of battery capacity, we already mentioned 450 kilograms. 450 watt hours per kilogram. That's not it. Here is the roadmap for next year and Amprius's R&D progress. And we are eyeing for the ultra high energy up to 600 watt hours per kilogram. So we are increasing our battery capacity 30 to 50% in certain cases. As I already mentioned, great numbers propelled the stock up to the levels of almost $15. Amprius currently holding $14.55 is good sign for me as an investor in Amprius Technologies, and you who have been following us and who have seen Amprius and who have watched Amprius with us and followed their journey. Congratulations, because you must be very happy today. So that's not only the numbers, it's also the guidance. We have outlook for next year. This year's revenue 73 million. Next year 125. We are growing. And by 2030, they have target over $600 million delivery capacity yearly. How about that? Amprius, since their first trading day, 22nd of September 2022, have gone a fairly long journey. And the company has very good upside ahead. Amprius Technologies, let me know in the chat, what do you think of Amprius? Are you invested in Amprius? We definitely will bring more content and will dedicate more airtime to Amprius. Let's just quickly preview. Oh, and I missed the tweet of the day as well. Tweet of the day from Adam Goldstein, Archer CEO, Archer Aviation, potentially one of Amprius's customers. Just plain, I mean. And he shows a video of Archer Midnight hovering in its first piloted vertical flight. This is November 704 Alpha X-ray aircraft, which is piloted, fully transition capable aircraft. There we are. I'll show you the video next time. Let's quickly preview the markets. I mean, look at that. It's speaking for itself. Very, very red. All stocks, including defense, including large, big companies like Toyota, Boeing, Airbus. The only one sticking out is Amprius, currently just below 16% up. Let's just quickly have a look at Archer. 2 minutes, and I will send you off to Martyn for the closing bell show. Archer currently sitting $6.35. If we don't have recovery tomorrow, we can start eyeing lower levels next week. Joby Aviation, $4.95. We have a bit of reserve in Joby, but I'm not dismissing we could see lower levels. But with Archer, once we break through $6.20 or maybe $6, even $6, that's probably not the best for me as a trader. For me as a long-term investor, stock on sale. Vertical Aerospace sitting just on the $4 mark. They have about 20 cents leeway as well until they hit the critical support. Horizon Aircraft just below $2, $1.90, and EHang $1.21. Sorry, $11.21. Amprius, on the other hand, is pushing, and we have a green day tomorrow. I think Amprius can have another good run tomorrow. It's not financial advice, it's just my own perspective, my own insights. And let's get back in the studio quickly, and I will send you off to Martyn, who is live now doing his countdown. So we have about 4 minutes. Take it easy. And my scene. Right, quickly, back in the chat room. Who we've got here? Do we have any questions? We are running a poll. You have 1 minute to cast your votes. Do you believe... Something wrong with the lights. Bear with me, please. I think it's this one. Yes, this one is playing up. Okay. Do you believe battery-powered vehicles, cars or aircraft are the future? Options: yes, yes, but need more range and capacity. No, undecided. So you have 1 more minute. We'll quickly go through the chat. Was is live, or is this a video premiere? No, this is perfectly live, fully live, as we do on Saturday. If it wasn't live, you would have known. Sir Joey is here. So it was Mike Turner. Sir Joey is here. Thank you for joining. Asman Wahid. When is EIPP announced? It's delayed. It's delayed. That should be next week. Sorry, I'm not showing chat. That should be announced next week. We are tracking it. We'll bring it to you as soon as it comes out. David Hensley is here. Thank you for joining and doing your moderator's work. Asman says, when is... Oh, yeah, we've already answered. Sammy is here. Thanks, Vaz. Thank you for joining. Marsha Taylor, thank you for watching. Abby is here as well. Marsha says, a nice studio. Well, I'm glad you like my studio. I have dedicated a lot of time to build this and to bring you this daily eVTOL show, because we are live daily. You're only 20 minutes you need to keep up with the eVTOL market. Absolutely thank you for the comment, says New Wave. I absolutely thank you for being here, hitting the like button, subscribing if you are new. Now, off to Martyn's main show. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Take care of yourselves and each other.